All right, welcome everybody to the first episode. This is episode 1 of Yanks on the Pitch. Today is November 19th, 2023. This is our pilot episode of the podcast. We haven't done this before, so welcome to ourselves as well. My name is Kash, and we got Eddy as well, sitting here next to me.
Hey everybody.
So we'll dive a little bit into ourselves here. This is our first podcast, and as a listener, this is also your first time listening to us. So the goal of this podcast is to kind of break down the U.S. men's team. That's the focus, soccer team. And, you know, we're both soccer players growing up and love just soccer and the USA team. So not only will we be breaking down the USA team itself, but, you know, in the soccer world, we both like watching the EPL, you know, the French league, the Italian league, and all that whatnot. So we're going to be breaking down games. And also we'll try to focus on the U.S. players as well, right? So want to break down their skills and what we see from them, because in the end they play for the U.S. men's national team and we're rooting for them, so we want the best for them, and we kind of want to talk about that, right? So we'll break that down. Eddy, why don't you kind of introduce yourself here?
Yeah, my name's Eddy. Likewise, love the United States soccer team. It's a great time to be a fan. We got the 2026 World Cup coming up on our home turf. We got a great team up and coming. Most of our players are around 20 years of age. They'll be in their prime. We got the Copa America next year, also on home turf. So just an exciting time to be a fan. That's why we wanted to put this podcast together as soccer is growing in the U.S. Hopefully, the hope is the World Cup puts soccer on an even higher projectile to become one of the most popular sports here in the States. So looking forward to doing this podcast, looking forward to continue watching U.S. men's soccer. And it was great to see them get a 3-0 win over Trinidad and Tobago in Nations League this past Thursday.
Agreed.
So quick overview of Nations League before we dive into the game.
Well, let me introduce myself as well. I'm Kash.
Sorry, Kash.
All good. So like Eddy was saying here, we actually both, you know, grew up in the Chicago suburbs here. Grew up playing soccer, still play it. Eddy's been through a couple of ACL injuries, so he's nursing his health there.
Just 3 knee surgeries, that's it.
But we played soccer, still play soccer, and we are big USA fans. So that's why, you know, that's kind of where the idea with this podcast came from. I know we played, but, you know, we're big fans, so we try to meet up and, you know, go to the bars for big USA games. I remember we met up for the last World Cup in downtown Chicago. This is coming out of Chicago, by the way.
At 7 a.m.
We met up at early morning at, what bar was that? It was
Fado's?
No. Well, we tried to go to Fado's actually, but the line was so long we couldn't get in. So we went to the Chicago Bears bar.
Yeah, I forget. Timothy O'Toole's.
Shout
out Timothy O'Toole.
That's right. We went there. It was a good time. They were playing the Netherlands that day. They lost. But, you know, it was a good game, whatever. We enjoyed ourselves. That's all it's all about, right? Getting together with other USA fans and watching the team play and having a good time. So that's kind of a little bit of our background. We'll delve into that more as the podcast goes on. Different episodes, we'll learn more about ourselves as well as the team. Let's see here. We're going to be meeting every so often. It won't be super frequent. It'll be kind of based around when the USA team plays. So like Eddy mentioned here, they played against the Trinidad and Tobago team the other day on leg 1 of the Nations League, Concacaf Nations League. They'll be playing leg 2 on Monday. I can't recall when the next game's coming up. Probably in a month or so.
I believe these are the quarterfinals, and then the semifinals are in March.
Okay, so we got actually a lot of time. But we will be also meeting outside of that because, you know, the U.S. men's national team players are playing in other leagues around the world, high-level leagues, which is great to hear. I mean, they didn't used to always be like that, but they're playing in these high-level leagues, which we love to watch. So we'll be breaking down their play on club experience. And also, even when they're not playing, we know when big other games are happening or just things in the soccer world are happening, we'll break that down because we just don't like talking about that and all the soccer drama that comes with that. And yeah, so I think that'll be a good, that's kind of what's forthcoming here, as well as what's happening in today's podcast. So with that, the USA, like you said, played against TNT on Thursday.
Yeah, so part of Nations League, and this is the first year. Nations League is new, started in 2019, but this year's new format is that the 4 semifinalists qualify for the Copa America next year. So Nations League is to qualify for the Copa America. And this is big because the United States they won the Gold Cup, they won the Nations League, but their competition has been Canada and Mexico, which no disrespect there, but the other teams that they play, Panama, Honduras, Jamaica, TNT, not the highest quality caliber teams. And then they go to a World Cup, play against a Dutch side, and we lost 3-1 that game. So this is exciting that we get hopefully Copa America next year, assuming that we don't lose 3-0 in this upcoming game against Trinidad and Tobago.
So Eddie, can you tell a little bit about? I think you know a little bit about it, but the U.S. historically don't have entrance into the Copa America. That is. Before, today it was always been, a South American tournament?
Yeah, so the Copa has historically been South American tournament, the likes of Brazil. It's essentially the Euro, but for South America. So obviously the Euro has a lot more teams, but there's still a lot of talent in the Copa. I mean, Argentina just won the World Cup. You have Brazil, Uruguay, even Colombia. So those teams compared to what the U.S. usually plays is a big upgrade. And the timing just works out perfectly because the Copa America is in 2024 and then the World Cup is in 2026. So not only does the U.S. team play better competition in advance of the World Cup, but the U.S. as a whole gets to prepare for the World Cup.
Do you know
with the fan madness and everything?
Do you know why they changed that format? I know. So before this, we were our big competitions besides the World Cup were always Gold Cup, Nations Cup.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it changed, actually. I know the USA is hosting it. I don't know if it was... I think Ecuador was supposed to host it, and then that broke through. They needed a new host, and the US offered to host it. And then the two FIFA authorities, Concacaf and from Copa America, decided to merge the tournament together, make it bigger, and I think it's good for everyone.
It is, especially as USA fans, we're playing, like you said, better competition, so that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Should we get into the game against Trinidad and Tobago?
Sure. So this was leg 1 of 2?
Yes.
Against Trinidad, like you said. This one was in the U.S. I want to say it was in Austin, Texas.
It was. Great fan turnout, by the way. Good job, Austin. Love to see a lot of fans coming for the U.S. games because historically, last 10, 15 years, it wasn't always the case where we would sell out stadiums. So it's exciting to see.
Do we know that? Was it a sold-out stadium?
It looked sold out. I don't know if it was.
Yeah. Well, it's good. I agree. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I like that. So before we jump into the breakdown of it, like we said, it was on Thursday. The final score was 3-0 USA. We had goals by Ricardo Pepi in the 82nd minute, Anthony Robinson in the 86th minute, and Giovanni Reina in the 89th minute. Another keynote here was Noah Powder in the 37th minute for TNT. That he had a red card, so that'll be a talking point here. But in the end, it was 3-0 US, and we're going into Monday's second leg to advance to the semis. So, any keynotes you got?
Yeah, glad we won, but it sounds like a commanding victory of 3-0, but it really wasn't the case. I mean, if you hear that our opposition got a red card in the 38th minute, you would think that, we're going to capitalize. But we didn't score a goal until, what was it?
82nd minute.
82nd minute.
Mm-hmm.
So 82 minutes, it was 0-0 with the U.S. up a man. It ended up, we won the game, so that's all that matters, and we won 3-0. But I think everything changed when... Do you remember what minute Pepi came onto the field?
I took that note. Let's see here. Pepi and Aronson came in together.
I believe it was like the 70th minute. So, I'm still upset he didn't go to the World Cup. It is what it is. But it seems like whenever Pepi comes on for the U.S., he scores, he plays well. And it was Pepi once again coming off the bench, scoring in the 82nd minute that propelled the U.S. to victory here.
Agreed. I do want to say a high level. I agree with what you mentioned. 3-0, you hear that, right? Oh, how did the USA do it? 3-0. Oh, great, right? They did a good job. However, it didn't feel that way. I feel like you said, 37th minute, Trinidad and Tobago got a red card. It's big swing in, just the feel of the game. It's like, oh, USA have been doing all right. Not great.
Also, such a bad tackle by that guy. He was already playing on a yellow card, and then cleats up, tackle from behind in the 38th minute to get another yellow. Like, what are you doing, guy? It's the 38th minute, first half, you're already on a yellow.
I agree. And I feel like soccer culture, at least the players themselves, have changed where if something like that happens, no one is like crazy and going like psycho on the field.
Right. If you have a yellow, you know not to do dangerous tackles, right. Let alone cleats up, slide tackle from the back.
Especially with VAR not being present, a situation like that where a red happens or a big goal happens and or an offsides is called, they're going to go to VAR for the most part. I can't remember if they did for this one.
But, I don't think they did.
But obviously, as a fan, they're going to throw it into slow-mo and show it to you. I agree. It was very stupid looking. So, and it did warrant, I think, a yellow. And at that point, like you said, it's a second yellow. It's a red, right?
Right, yeah.
I will say I did like, and I'm going to go on Weston McKennie later or whenever it's appropriate. I love Weston McKennie. He did a great job of drawing the foul, actually. I think he got the ball at his feet, turned, saw the space in front of him, took touches up the field, and as a center midfielder, you're dribbling up. You feel pressure on your back. You kind of try to dribble in front of that defender who's going in front of you. So you try to cut him off in a situation where he doesn't really have a choice. So either he's going to go through your back, or in this situation, Noah Powder, he slides and tries to get the tackle. It almost actually looked kind of all right. We got a little bit of the ball, but at the same time he got Weston. So it was dangerous, And I think he actually injured Weston after that because I've seen since that he might be out for the next game.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah.
It seems like Noah Powder maybe had too much white powder before the game. I was too excited there.
He was definitely a little like that. So he got the 2 yellows, he got the red, changed everything in the game.
Yeah. Do you have any... Oh, we should mention Pulisic and Weah did not play this game. We should have mentioned that at the beginning. They're out with hamstring injuries.
True.
I was watching the AC Milan game, Champions League. I believe Pulisic hurt his hamstring during that game. So we were without them, but again, you'd still expect the U.S. to dominate on the field, which we did end up getting the result 3-0.
Correct. And I do want to back up a little bit. You mentioned Pulisic and Weah not playing. We'll just go over the starting lineup of the U.S. Team. So we had Matt Turner in net, obviously, which I guess it's a talking point too, but Matt Turner in net. Backline was Serginho Dest, Carter Vickers, Tim Ream, and Anthony Robinson. In the midfield, we had Musa and McKennie. In front of them was Malik Tillman, Gio Reyna, and Paredes. And then up top, we had Balogun. I won't even go into the TNT lineup because, nothing important.
Yeah, so was there anybody that stuck out to you? Anybody you wanted to discuss? I think Balogun played well, but... with how Pepe's been playing, we should know that Pepe and Balogun actually played together. When Pepe came on, he did not replace Balogun, and this was the first time they played together.
On the field at the same time, correct?
Yeah, which the way they play, you wouldn't think that they play with each other well, because they're both finishers. They do runs in behind on the defense. They're clinical finishers, but they were in together, and Do you have any thoughts on how they played together? We ended up getting the result 3-0.
It's definitely been a battle, I feel like. And it's weird to say a battle because it's teammates that are fighting for the same position. But Balogun and Pepe are both forwards. And like you said, they don't usually play with each other in the field. Balogun's had a lot of hype with him since he just came over to the U.S. I know there was him... I remember when he was going on his tour of the U.S. and people were posting all about it on Instagram, and people were saying like, "Oh, he might commit to the U.S. team." And as soon as I don't even know if he did, but things were trending that direction, and everyone was super excited, right? This Arsenal player, he might commit to the U.S. I actually don't know where else he could have committed. Maybe it was England.
Yeah, England, but he was born in New York.
Okay, and we've had a lot of players like that, right? That have a little bit of dual nationality and they can.
Yeah, Serginho Dest. I believe he was born in the Netherlands, or maybe he was born. I know he has Dutch affiliation because I remember when we played against the Dutch in the World Cup, they were showing that graphic. And then Jedi Robinson also has English background.
Right. And then so Balogun and Pepe, that was definitely cool to see them playing at the same time. But I feel like I will never look at them as battling for the same position or as not doing that, because I feel like they're both trying to be forwards. They're both trying to be the guy that's scoring goals for the U.S. team.
Right, and this is nothing against Balogun. He just came over, super exciting. And I actually never told you this. I'm pulling up Instagram right now. On March 22nd, I slid into his DMs. He is the reason he plays for the United States. I said, on March 22nd, so this is well before he came over to the U.S., I said, come play for the U.S. You will go down as the GOAT of U.S. soccer and the reason soccer became the most popular sport here. In background, in hindsight, I don't think he'll be the GOAT, but I was just really excited trying to get him over here. And hey,
that's good.
Maybe I'm the reason he came here. He didn't reply. It doesn't show that he saw the message, but maybe it's the reason.
He's still working through it. That's good. Yeah, I will also agree. He may not be the GOAT. That's a whole other conversation. Love seeing Clint Dempsey and Landon Donovan, talking about their history too. I don't know if you saw, but they're talking with Kate Abdo and people, and this new actually spin-off series.
I did see that. I think it's on Peacock or not Peacock. I don't know.
We'll need to break that down because that's actually really cool from what I've seen. I haven't actually watched an episode, or I don't even know if they released it in episodes, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have seen bits and pieces of it. But yeah, Trinidad and Tobago, the one thing I always think about whenever I see Trinidad and Tobago, not even soccer, but if I just look at a map and I see this country, I'm like, God damn it, 2018. They were the reason we didn't qualify for the World Cup that year. Well, I shouldn't say they. We fucking lost to them.
Right,
so
there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, we didn't qualify because we didn't win, but we just happened to not win against Trinidad and Tobago. So I was actually doing some research on that 2018 match today, just because that was 5 years ago now.
Oh geez, yeah.
I remember watching it, but I didn't remember some of the background. So there were 27 combinations going into the last match day, and only one of those would eliminate the United States from the World Cup. Because even if the U.S. lost, Honduras still had to beat Mexico, and Panama had to beat Costa Rica. All of that happened, and the U.S. lost 2-1, and then we didn't qualify. So whenever we play Trinidad now, I'm like, let's beat these motherfuckers. We didn't go to the World Cup because of them.
I do remember. I actually forgot that was the case at the time, but I do remember, hearing that the U.S. didn't make it to the World Cup, and obviously, as you always say, fan, you expect them to make it every year. We're not,
right.
We're a mainstream country, and we don't have a great history when it comes to soccer and success, but at this point, we feel like we deserve it. I don't know why, but we got great players. They're doing things in other countries and representing their clubs. So we expect success for our national team.
Do you know who scored in that 2-1 defeat against Trinidad?
I do not.
Christian Pulisic.
Ah. I'm excited to see him play out there. I'm assuming he's not going to be in leg 2.
I don't think so.
And Weah.
Yeah, they won't be, but we still. I guess let's talk about this Monday upcoming game. It's leg 2. This one is in Trinidad and Tobago, so the U.S. is traveling. Which, actually, I don't know if you saw this. The Caribbean islands, they had a huge storm on Friday. Because I was waiting for the viewers. My wife is Canadian. So right. I'm trying to get her into soccer by showing the Canada games, who have been playing decently well as well. And so I was waiting for the Canada versus Jamaica game, and it was delayed 2 hours, and then they decided to play the next day. And here, let me show you a photo of the pitch of what it looked like.
You said Canada versus Jamaica, correct?
Yeah. This is what the field looked like. There were so many puddles.
So it looks like we're looking at the inside of the field looks great. It looks super nice and green, but the outside of it is where all the water drained to, and it's flooded.
It's
the track
puddles
that surrounds the field, as well as almost 10 to 20 feet into the interior of the field is just water.
If you did a slide tackle.
You're telling me they played on this?
So no, it got postponed until the next morning because that was the field.
I could think that even the next morning wouldn't solve all of that issue.
Yeah.
It's still probably okay. I don't know.
I mean, if you did a slide tackle, what was his name? Powder?
Yeah.
The slide tackle he did it at the middle of the field, he would have ended up at the penalty box.
That's the classic.
He would have slid so far.
Of the never-ending slide tackle.
Yeah, I love those games in high school and college where you put down a slide tackle in the rain and you just fucking zoom.
You go 15, 20 feet and get up.
But anyways, the other game that was on at this time was St. Vincent and the Grenades or the Grenadines. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Grenada? What are you talking about?
St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Okay.
Versus Bermuda.
Oh, shoot.
And I was like, who even are these teams? And what is this production that I'm watching on TV? There was one commentator who was horrible. I have a couple of notes of what she said during the game because I was like, what is going on here? Mind you, the stands were empty. And by empty, I mean like not even a single person. Like literally.
Why is that?
Maybe because of the storm, but also maybe the soccer was also just really bad. I just couldn't believe this was even on TV. And like, this is why the Copa is so important, is because like the US can't keep playing these not so great teams. Fun fact, I was wondering how big this country is. Take a guess, ballpark figure, how big this country is population-wise.
Which country?
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Grenades. I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong. I'm going to get shit on later.
That's fine. How big the population is? Shit,
yeah, how many people?
1 million? Actually, no, hold on. I would go 500,000.
104,000 people.
104.
Just to put that into perspective, Boulder, Colorado has 104,000 people in their city.
It's the city
so it's tiny. It's absolutely tiny. So a quote from the commentator. The commentator said, "It's a party atmosphere. Everybody was waiting for this one to start." And then you look at the crowd and literally not a single person, empty stands. Just, I don't want to call it a joke, but I was just like, what is going on here? One nice thing I'll say though, because I was doing research on St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Ezra Hendrickson is their most successful soccer player ever. He actually coached the Chicago Fire the last 2 years. Fun fact. He was the coach of the Chicago Fire.
Whoa.
The last 2 years, yeah.
Like even this past year that just happened?
Yeah, he got fired, but
okay.
he did coach for 2 years. Fun fact.
That was exciting.
Yeah, small world.
Wow. Oh, I see that now. Okay, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was the country's name.
But again, this is why I'm so excited about the Copa America, like for the US to play against good teams, and then it'll be a test for the US before the World Cup. It'll also be a test for our coach, because there's obviously a lot of controversy. We won't get into like what happened after the World Cup with him not bringing Pepe and all the drama with Reina.
We'll break that down.
Maybe that's a later thing. But, there's still questions if he's the right coach. So the Copa America will be a good test if he should be the guy leading our squad into the World Cup.
When is that due by chance? No.
The Copa America?
Yeah.
It's next summer of 2024.
Summer 24. Okay, so we got a little bit of time.
Yeah, which we'll definitely be going to those games. At least one or two.
Are we going?
Yeah, Soldier Field is a host city.
Okay, then we're going. You heard it here first. Episode 1 of Yanks on the Pitch. We are going to a game for the
breaking news
Copa America. Nice. I do want to say, I feel like we don't have too much time left on this first episode. I would like to say, we were talking a little bit about Balogun versus Pepe. I did want to throw in this comment. I do like Balogun coming in. He's got a lot of hype coming around him. For some reason, I got a soft spot for Pepe. I like him a lot. He for the past few games he's been playing, he's been coming out as a sub. So that's I like to think a little more tougher. You're not going to start in position. This is what everyone's fighting for. But as a sub, he has been doing great. He comes on against Trinidad. He got the first goal. It was a little late, yes, but I mean he was the first one to break the ice.
I mean, not late for him. He was on the pitch for 15 minutes.
You're right.
Yeah.
I mean,
for him, that wasn't late.
He subbed down 66th, 67th minute, and he scored
82nd.
Less than 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
So great for him. We love you, Ricardo Pepe.
Yeah, he's been doing this for a while though. It's not new. That's why hype for Balogun to be here. But the way Pepe's been playing, I don't know. I feel like Pepe deserves to start, and Balogun's got to earn it. That might be a hot take. We'll see. But Pepe, I just feel bad because he was playing so well. Then he got injured. Then he didn't go to the World Cup. And now the first serious competition since the World Cup. Look at that. Pepe comes on as a sub, scores within 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. With the US 0-0. It was 0-0, and it's like, are we actually not going to win this game? Oh, here comes Pepe. Oh, here's a goal. Oh, here's 2 more goals. So I don't know. I mean, it's a nice problem to have that we have two good forwards. So I'll say that. But and another good thing is we have 7 months until Copa America, 2 years, 3 years until the World Cup. So by that time, I'm sure we'll figure out who the right forward should be.
Right. Agreed.
And maybe they'll learn how to play with each other. Like if somehow Pepe and Balogun figure out how to play with each other, we could have two forwards. Like that'd be sick.
That would be awesome. Two great forwards up top, getting it done on each side. Love that. High level, I want to touch on a couple of other players here. Paredes on the left wing. I believe it was his first start for the U.S. national team.
It was.
So I like to see that. He looked, I don't know how old this guy is.
He is 20 years. I looked into it because I was like, this guy looks like he's 15.
He does.
Maybe I'm just getting old, but this guy looked like a TikToker.
Right.
But he's 20 years old, and he looked confident. He didn't have anything spectacular during the match, but as a first cap, 20 years old, he was trying to take players on. He's really fast, so you love to see the confidence.
I agree. It was his first start, right? So like you said, he's super young, so you want him to have the confidence. There's nothing worse than seeing somebody jumping on and just not knowing what they're doing and looking like an idiot out there. He didn't look like an idiot. He did try some things. I feel like it didn't work out, but actually, I didn't think about this until you just mentioned it. That's good. His confidence is growing, and we got the result that we needed. So in this game, he was effective. It was fine. Nothing great, but he was good.
Right.
Gio Reyna, he had a goal. I'm trying to think of what I want to say he had a quiet first half, is what my notes have here. He was very effective in the second half. He had a goal himself, and it was very nice too. It was I want to say like a give and go type of situation where he dummied it at one point, got a little dink through ball, and finished it nicely. I think actually all of our goals had a deflection involved, so not super clean, but they were nice. They built up nice, and it was just a good soccer player's move, getting the shot on net, and that's what happens.
I think
it goes in.
I think the first one, Pepe's goal, did not take a deflection.
That might have been the only one that didn't have one.
Yeah, Jedi Robinson crossed it, and Pepe just literally just touched it.
Right, it was a little flick almost, which was good. It
was nice.
Let's see, Tillman. I didn't have too much notes on him.
I got some notes on him. He did not look great. In my opinion. He didn't look great. Yeah, he had a couple. Here we go. Malik Tillman. I have bad giveaway, bad shot, bad pass again. Okay. So I mean that's not much. I don't know, but
although I do like to see him and Dest. I'm gonna go into Dest right away too, because him and Dest play on the same team, right? And Pepe, they all play for PSV.
Yeah.
So that's good to see. I do like to see those players that are playing on the same team, club-wise, playing for the USMNT, because they grow together and will build off each other because they're so used to playing with each other. So that's good for the US team. Along those lines, I'm gonna skip over to the other side of the field. Robinson and Tim Ream. I love seeing those guys play for Fulham. I mean, they do a great job. What I think. I don't know. You ask the Fulham fans, but they do a good job. Tim Ream, I think, had an exceptional game. I think he does a great job of. He's a center back, right? He does a great job of when the ball's coming to him and he's coming up into the ball as a defender. He does a great job of touching it and turning it into offense right away. He'll play it into Weston McKennie or whoever's playing in center mid and turn around. All of a sudden, boom! It's USA going on the offensive. So I love seeing that. And then Robinson at his side. Fun fact I saw on the TV, I forgot who was streaming it, but they said that Tim Ream is one of 4 players who is age 36 or older to play in the Premier League this season.
Damn,
so he is 36. Playing, and the 4 players are Tim Ream, Thiago Silva, Ashley Young, and James Milner. So that is some great company right there.
Dude, that's wild. I'm 29 years old and I need to do a stretch when I get out of bed before I could even walk. And this dude is 30. How old is he? 36? 37?
I don't even know. He's 36 or older, is all I know.
I don't know. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. And I mean, Silva, Young, and Milner, those are good guys to be I mean, he's doing a great job in the EPL. So we got that. I will say Carter Vickers. I don't know much about the guy.
He's good.
I know I heard that he plays for Celtic. I don't watch Celtic at all ever. Maybe we should start doing that. But I mean, he did a great job too. He's like a big body.
Yep.
Didn't let anyone pass by him.
He came on in the World Cup as well. He played in the World Cup one or two of the games, and he did well. He did very well.
Okay, well, props to Carter Vickers.
I like how the U.S.'s defense line is set up. On the sides, you got Serginho and Jedi Robinson. Who
I mean, that's so strong.
Yeah, they move up. Serginho, he dribbles past players all the time. And then in the middle, you got like the two big guys, Ream and Carter Vickers. So you get past the speed on the sides, and in the middle, you got these big bodies going up against you.
Yeah,
I like it.
I do want to call out Weston McKennie. I don't know why I love Weston McKennie. I love a lot of the guys on the team.
His personality is awesome.
Right.
He's so funny.
It's hard to find players nowadays that have their personality shine. I don't know if it's a good comparison, but what's the dude, the NBA player that's like the laughs? Kawhi. Like, that guy, I mean, does he have a good personality? I don't think so. He just seems very robotic. But Weston McKennie is the exact opposite of that. Yeah. He's fun. Like, I don't know if he drinks. I don't know if these guys, but I'd love to go watch a game at a bar with them. You know?
Oh, that'd be awesome. I would love to party with Weston. Weston, if you're listening to this, send a DM.
It's only episode 1, but we'll get you eventually. Musa, I thought he's the last guy I think we haven't touched on in the starting lineup. He was a little quiet from my perspective.
Yeah, agreed. He's like the hustle guy though in the middle. He does a lot of the dirty work. He runs so much. For his club team in Spain, it's the same. He just runs so much. Or sorry, not Spain. He plays for Milan now.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, he does a lot of the dirty work, a lot of the running.
He looks like an athlete, I will say. He's making the sprints when he needs to, be getting back on defense when he needs to. So he's a good guy. Matt Turner, obviously in net, but I want to break down the goalie position a little bit later. I like Matt Turner. Do you have any comments or big notes on him?
Yeah, really quick on Matt Turner, this upcoming Monday game. I don't know if Matt Turner did this just for this past game on Thursday, but he looked so excited during the national anthem. I don't know if maybe the camera went on him and he saw something funny or heard something funny, but I'm definitely keeping an eye out on Matt Turner during the national anthem because this guy looked just so excited.
I feel like he's obviously also gone through a lot of emotional build up because of the fact that he started from the bottom, now he's here. He was did a bad job in college.
Now we're here.
Exactly. He had a bad. I feel like that was his story, right?
He just started playing soccer in high school at the age of 16.
I believe he went to go play in college somewhere. He was not successful because there was the classic he goes up.
The video of him.
It might have even hit him in the head and went in the goal.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah,
but he's got the starting position. He's earned it.
Definitely.
And he did a good job. He actually did. He wasn't called into action very much, but for what he needed to do, he did a good job. Obviously, clean sheet, so good job on him and the back line. I don't know if I have any other notes on the players themselves. There was I do love Brendan Anderson. I'll break him down a different day. I feel like I can go into a whole spiel on him. But otherwise, I will say overall, the U.S. men's national team against Trinidad and Tobago leg won. They got the result 3-0. I wasn't impressed. They obviously let the floodgates open past the 70th minute when we made a couple subs, scored a couple goals. We scored 3. There was a couple others we could have scored, should have scored. I'd argue the same thing earlier in the game, but it didn't happen. And we are. So it's 3-0. I don't think the U.S. should be. And we mentioned earlier, right? We're playing these teams like Trinidad where it's not a great team. So yes, we are expecting the win. We gotta win, but is 3-0 enough? I don't know. Especially with also them being a mad down. Yeah, it took us 80 minutes to break the ice.
Right, yeah.
With 11v10, that's not good, man. So
agreed. I agree with everything you're saying. One additional thing I'll say, I have my thoughts about Greg Berhalter, but give credit where credit is due. He made subs and it changed the game. So we got the result. Round 2 on Monday. Do you see any changes on Monday?
I like to think there will be some changes. We are in a comfortable position being 3 up.
So question. Do we start Pepe or Balogun after this? Who do you think we're going to roll with as the starter?
I think we're going to keep it consistent and go with Balogun as a starter.
I think so too.
Only because I don't know why. I don't know. Pepe has been doing a great job coming in as a sub, and that's what he's going to be doing. That's fine. I wouldn't root for that if I had to say it, but that's what it's been. He's been doing a good job, I guess, for now, especially against a team that it's all right, let's just get out of this stage of the tournament. Let's make it happen. Balogun he also, I feel like, would be a little upset not starting.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. I agree. I think Pepe will be coming off the bench, but if you start Pepe, that sends a message to Balogun hey, we need you to score goals. And I know it's early. It's 3 or 4 goals in, but if we send the message, the Greg Berhalter is like, Pepe's been playing well, you're starting, Balogun, you're going to come off the bench, maybe that is added motivation for Balogun. But to your point, it's still early. I think Balogun starts, and I think the U.S. win on Monday.
I'm wondering if it's going to be, I feel like it's not going to be no more than 3-0. If it is, I'd be impressed and happy. If it's
So the line is, Las Vegas has this as 2.5.
Okay, I would have guessed 1.5, but okay, that's good. So I guess that's between 2 and 3, which just makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we expect them to win. They should not be losing to this team, or honestly, like we said, any team in the Nations League. So
right. The only team that should be close is Canada or Mexico, and honestly,
correct, every time.
Yeah. I don't know how Mexico did in their game.
Actually, I want to say
they lose.
They lost 2-0 to Honduras.
They lost 2-0 to Honduras.
Which is,
right.
I feel like, a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
That's a big... They are creating troubles for themselves. That should not be happening. I don't know...
Mexico has been falling out. And then Canada beat Jamaica 2-1. So not a commanding victory. I didn't watch the game because it was postponed until the next day.
Okay.
But the U.S. should win this whole thing.
Right.
Like that is the expectation. The U.S. should win this whole thing. Anything less than that is a failure.
Correct.
In my opinion.
I agree.
So yeah, Monday, U.S. versus Trinidad and Tobago. I believe it's at 6 p.m. Central Time. Hope you guys catch the game. Anything else? Any other notes?
Yeah, we encourage our fans to watch the U.S. team as well, so we can break it down with you and see if you agree or disagree with us. But I think this was a good first episode. I know we were a little hectic, jumping all over the place. I got a couple notes that we didn't hit, but it's like you can't break down every player, in one episode. Yeah. This is a lot. But 3-0 against Trinidad. We got game 2, like you said. I'm not sure when the next episode will be, but we'll be sure to take notes and be ready for the next, I guess, international play, which is what we said in March.
Yeah, so this Monday, and then the semifinal is in March. But
so we got time. I like to think we'll throw in an episode here to go over some club play.
Yeah. Other
items that are happening in the soccer world. So, and just kind of us in general going down, breaking down things like Greg Berhalter and his relationship with the players and whatnot. So it's like little things like that, and just like MLS. I think it's coming. It might be even. I don't think it's done yet, but it's close. Some other finals that happened. I saw the women's league, the women's U.S. league. They ended the other day, as well as the USL Championship. So it's like little things like that, but just.
Yeah, well, thanks everybody for tuning in to Yanks on the Pitch, episode 1.
Yeah, it's big for us as well as you guys, right? Episode 1, that's awesome.
Eddy and Kash saying goodbye.
Thanks, guys. See you later.